once again. Thank you for coming in today. So glad to have you here today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. We want to talk about your news release, your news project today. But first of all, I do want to dive in more into the music industry.
Okay.
So first off, I do have some questions prepared. And first off, so for the music industry, you've probably seen it evolve dramatically over the years, especially with the rise of digital platforms. And how do you feel this shift has aligned with your creative process, and what new opportunities or challenges even have or has it presented for you as an artist?
Well, that's a good question. We're definitely living in quite a different world than when I first put out music, which was in the year 2000. So that's 24 years ago. I love the current sort of climate and microclimate of music and culture in its digital sort of wonder. I really enjoy the social networking aspect of social media. I really enjoy the immediacy of it. For instance, I can connect instantaneously with a DJ that I like. We can start following each other and exchanging music immediately on Instagram or something like that. Also through TikTok, I've kind of made a bunch of new fans that never heard my music before. Mm-hmm. And it's very real because music is very immediate. And so if people like your song, they will come to your show and sing all the words. And it's not so much just a passing trend, because it's still the music making an impact on the listener, even if it's TikTok. Because I see the younger audiences at my concerts I've been doing in the last year or two, and it's really quite cool. I have sort of ADHD, inattentive ADHD, and I find TikTok and social media and the nature of those apps actually kind of, when I'm being creative, not to just kill time or waste time, but if I'm in a creative mood and I want to create things for those formats, I find the way my brain works is very complementary to it, because it's quick, instant moments. I'm a Sagittarius, so I'm always looking for the next adventure, so
well, no, I get
easy
that.
to find new adventures, the way we can access music and culture in a different way now.
Right,
right. I would say.
Yeah, and I feel especially with TikTok, I do feel the same, because I do have some tendency towards ADHD.
Yeah.
And it actually is really something that gets you on in a better way, because you can Yeah, it's weird.
It's almost some moments, I think the meta-ness of it, and also it kind of go it's subversive in an interesting way. It can be subversive in a cool way, because sometimes when you're living just in real life, socially or with your friends or family, you want to keep the energy positive, and maybe some jokes don't make sense in real life.
Yeah.
But then in the medium of TikTok, it's my quirky sense of humor makes sense here. Well,
Yeah, no, definitely.
I also like dancing. So dancing's actually, it's a thread. Dancing also has helped me a lot with my ADHD. Is doing choreography in the dance studio. So I started with TikTok through doing dance videos, just doing choreography and just more the dance angle, get together with my friends in the dance studio and just put on a song we love, learn choreography. And then now I'm making new music, so it's my songs. And then we just learn choreography, and then my dancers are always on tour with me, so we're always making fun things, regardless.
Actually, I actually have one question prepared for the ADHD, but first I actually wanted to ask you, because you just talked about it, now you see all these especially from Generation Z, people on TikTok and social media, they all revisit all of your earliest works and see all of your music and vibe to that, and having this whole hype now on TikTok, especially. But like, how does it make you feel? Because I sometimes wonder, you know, a lot of young people probably, they feel nostalgic when hearing your earliest works, especially from your 2000 hits. But as for me, like, I think it's quite funny to think that even though these are like less than 20 years old, all these hits, to consider them being nostalgic. Like, how do you feel about that?
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't know. It's like I'm still trying to figure it out because some of the kids I see, like I've played a couple shows recently. I was in Sweden and Denmark last week playing concerts, and some of the kids look like 16, and they were singing mostly songs that came out before they were born.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is amazing. Like maybe their parents were playing it,
Right.
or maybe TikTok. Nostalgia is a great thing. I mean, I think, see, I'm Portuguese, so we grew up with this word saudade, which is like a longing for the past. So I think I'm already familiar with being comfortable with nostalgia.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Right.
So for me, I do love nostalgia culture, and I also really like remix culture, like DJ remix culture, because I think it's quite organic, you know, to like listen to something you love and want to and to want to remix it, you know?
Yeah.
Like I remember being 4 years old and wanting to make my own tape recordings of a Billy Joel samples for like of sounds that were cool on his album, you know? Like so I think it's a human instinct to want to take something and make it your own. So I actually think nostalgia and remix culture is like really interesting. So I feel like lucky and grateful to be a part of it, and like lean into it. Like I'm currently always talking to DJs about what the next thing we're remixing is, and I get sent new remixes of my old material all the time.
And you are into that.
I think that's why on my last single last year, like it's called Eat Your Man. I mean, it wasn't my idea, it was my friend's idea who wrote the song with me, but she's like, well, how about this, like, I'll eat your man, like man-eater, right?
Yeah,
and then I'll say it right, and I'll do what I say.
Yeah.
Fly like a bird. And I was like, I would never think of that, but yeah, let's go, let's do it. And it's like, it makes sense, you know? Because it's like, you're referencing, it's almost like when you make a collage or a scrapbook.
Like mini
it's
Super
like
Bowl.
Scrapbook culture.
Yeah. Yeah, I love
cool.
that. Love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember like listening the first time and actually.
Really, it's arts and crafts.
Yeah. Nice. But actually, in that context, because I remember you saying like in past interviews that you're really, as you just said, like really confident and really happy that, you know, people revisit all your oldest works and like going in clubs, seeing them, vibing to your music, but also like singing there or performing these songs. As of right now, you know, there are, I think, quite some artists who distance themselves from like their earlier works, just because they don't think it's like part of them anymore. So I think it's quite astonishing for you to.
I think I know the reason. I think it's because I've never followed trends in music. Right. Yeah, like ever. Right. Like I think I've always just been like, what do I feel like making? And then it might be like totally unpopular at the time, but I'll just do it anyways. And I'll just be like, this feels good. So I think if like you make the thing with like the total authenticity in that moment for that time, like if that's like what you're like feeling like in your gut, your heart, you're really there, then you're always gonna love it, you know? Like I know that sounds a bit like, I don't know, trite or something, but for me it's true.
I mean, I think it's a really honest answer.
Yeah. I'm a bad liar. I can't lie, so I can't really make music that I don't love, you know? Yeah. So if you make something you love, I feel like you'll always love it.
Yeah.
Like it's weird, but there's hardly any songs of mine that make me like, oh, that's cringy. Like I don't really have that.
That's interesting.
Yeah. You could test me though. Like you could play me a bunch and that'd be fun. And I'd be like, cringe level.
I mean, like, to be honest, like I actually adore your music.
Thank you.
But yeah, no, really, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
'Cause
I really think that.
rare, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there might be things where you're like, wow, I was really enthusiastic that day. Or like,
yeah.
it's a bit overzealous, you know, or like, wow, that song is 6 minutes long, you know, like. I did listen to Loose for the first time in like 10 years, about like a year and a half ago, the whole thing. And I was like, songs were so long back then. Like each song is like 5 minutes long.
Right.
It's like one more bridge, one more chorus. Now the ad-libs. Got to improv the ad-lib at the end, you know?
Right. Yeah, no, it's quite different than it is today, isn't it?
That was funny, yeah.
I also think it's, or do you also wanted to ask you, like, you know, you putting out all these music that now has or holds this like really iconic status, especially your, you know, earliest works and like 2000 hits, like alongside musicians like Madonna or Janet Jackson, like you are considered icon of pop, icon of the club scene. But how do you feel, or do you think that this iconic status comes with a certain responsibility as well? Like especially being this icon among like the girls and the gays.
Wow. I feel like I'm still kind of getting my head around that. I think that's so amazing. And I'm just like, oh my God. Yeah, I'm kind of like just trying to like take it in and really like enjoy it, because it's hard to see yourself, you know? Like you just kind of go about making your music, right? But like, yeah, I mean, I think I want to keep putting like quality things out more than ever. And I think I'm a lot pickier than I used to be. Like now I'm like really hard on myself. Like I'm the only one to blame. Like if I have like a bad show or like, you know what I mean? Like I look at myself first and that's okay. Did you try your best? Like did you rehearse enough? Did you go to the dance studio enough? Did you do your vocal warm-ups? Did you visualize? Did you meditate? You know, did you exercise? Like all those things. Yeah. Did you drink enough water that day? So like I'm pretty hard on myself. So I think like, yeah, like if you just kind of like keep yourself in check and just compete with yourself. Like I like to say I'm always competing with myself now. Where I think when I was 25 and I was making music, I was like kind of a little insecure maybe sometimes and kind of, but now I have to always remember that you're just competing with yourself to be the best you. You can only be the best you know, whatever that is, you know?
But I mean, yeah, in the end, do you still like also feel like that? I mean, of course, you're like in the end of the day.
But I'm here for all the gays and girls and everyone else.
Yeah, that's why we love you.
That's I'm right here with you. Yeah, I'm just like so happy about that. Mm-hmm.
And do you also feel that when, you know, being
grateful,
being in that position, you know, a lot of people, they look up to you, of course, like especially like younger people. And was it ever hard for you to deal with this kind of admiration or even idolization?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually, because that's come up again recently where I've kind of realized like, oh, shoot, like people are really watching everything you do. Yeah. So I do, especially because I see the younger kids watching. So I'm like, okay, all right, like what do I want to say? Like, what do I want to, you know, like make
what
sure.
advice you want to,
yeah, like make sure I'm kind of like hammering home, you know, like certain ideas. Even about self-love, to be honest, you know what I mean? About just being okay with like your choices, like if those feel good for you, you know, like and just like working on that. Because I think to get to here where I can celebrate things, like you said, like celebrate nostalgia, celebrate positive energy and joy, it's because I had to go through hard times. Like I had to like work on myself a lot. Like I had a couple years where, yeah, like I did a lot of self-work and a lot of like writing, a lot of journaling, a lot of crying, a lot of reflection, you know, so the tough work. You can't run away from it. You can run, but you can't hide.
Yeah, no, definitely.
From yourself.
100%.
So if all of that meant I could help myself, but also help other people by being present now, to make more music and kind of like, you know, try to spread some more light and music, you know, and joy, then I'm all for it, and I'm just grateful because I love to make music. Like it is my passion, you know. Right. It's my passion too. So I'm right there, like enjoying it with whoever else is enjoying it.
Well, like
If that
also-
makes sense, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it definitely makes
Okay.
sense. Because like also speaking of self-love, because I found it quite interesting. So because I actually wanted to ask you too, just like having seen all of your performances and interviews and all sorts of media, and I actually do mean that. Like you do like radiate such like positive, vibrant energy and like confidence and charm, and like nowadays I feel you have a lot of people, especially when looking at the state of the world, who move away from positivity again and again. Like,
Yeah.
like how can you maintain, of course, when I guess or assume when you're like at home, you are still a human in the end, but like what you present to the world and what you present to your fans even, like really gives off a lot of positivity.
That's so nice to hear that.
Really is. And
That's so nice to hear that.
Yeah.
Like it's so nice to hear that feedback.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I really mean that because like, like what do you say like just out of instinct? Like what's your secret behind that?
I really think it's about being like heart-centered.
Right.
Just like really try to like be heart-centered, and really just ask, is your heart okay?
Right.
How's your heart though?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's okay to like have like and just feel the feelings. Like you feel sad today, that's okay. It's like ride it out and feel those sad feelings, and don't be afraid of feeling the feelings, and just like don't disassociate for too long. Like just like stop and just like don't be afraid to go in there and like see what that's about.
Yeah.
And then energy too, just like to be like mindful of like the energy that you keep around you, the things you take in, like the things you're just like taking in and ingesting. Like it all makes a difference, right?
Yeah.
And so we can control ourselves or like regulate what we intake, right? We're the masters of our own universe inside of us. So yeah, that's just working on that. And I have bad days too. I think we're all connected though. Like I think it's weird. Like if you ever ask your friend like, were you like really depressed this week? And they'll be like, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, I don't know, some things are beyond our control, right?
Yeah. And
Like,
you can,
I don't know.
Feel that.
Yeah, like some of it's like, it's just like gravity.
Yeah. Universal force.
Yeah. It's just, a lot of other, things are, I think having faith too, just in like a higher power, helps me just to know that I'm not in control. That part.
Yeah.
I'm not really in control.
Yeah.
We're not in control.
No one really is actually.
Yeah. And it's liberating because you're like, well, I can let go,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel that too. So let's talk about your new single. So I found it quite interesting to have this collaboration, and I, listened to it, love the song.
Oh, thanks.
Can you tell us like a little bit more about how this collaboration came about in the first place?
Okay, so I've been out there making a lot of new music in the last few years and meeting a lot of new collaborators and producers and songwriters that are new for me, just like making new friends through friends. And I made a really close, good friend in Dom Dalla, who's like one of my collaborators. He's an incredible DJ, tours the whole world. We met because we played a festival in Australia together. He's Australian. And through him, I played this festival in Australia, and another producer was reaching out to me called S.G. Lewis, and he's from the UK. And we met at the festival, and we sang All Good Things Come to an End, one of my songs together, me and S.G. Lewis in Australia. We kept making music, and eventually him and I had a couple tracks, and I knew he was friends with Tove Lo, because Dom is also friends with Tove Lo.
Right.
It's a whole little community. And I asked if Tove could collaborate with us on the song and help us finish writing the song, because she's such a brilliant pop writer and singer and just spirit. I love her energy. She's just so confident. She's so confident in her own womanhood, but it's unique to her. Right. So yeah, we got together and we did Love Bites, and it's just super sexy, fun. It's very us. It's just like, it's pop, but it's dance, but it's just different. Yeah.
It's like a club banger. It's like,
yeah. It's got a
is.
lot of passion, and it's very sexy, which I love.
Yeah, and like really the point of like empowerment. Like I can like really feel that.
Oh yeah. It's definitely just like
100%.
yeah, again, just discovery, self-discovery, and just like, you know, and we can learn through romance too, right? We learn through like love and romance, and like everybody we meet teaches us something, you know? Yeah.
Right. Like talking about your new projects, because I've read that you like wrote about like 200 songs for your.
I did, closer to 300 actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I did.
Like,
we when we're in the studio, we record for hours and hours and hours, and I record with a bunch of microphones, and everything is on all the time. So everything that comes out, I always record, because a lot of my songs, the lyric and melody come spontaneously at once, and it just comes, and it's like a improvisation, almost like a freestyle. So I took that as the nucleus of the album and went with that, because it's where the passion was, you know?
Nice.
And so, but then it's kind of cool, because naturally the ones trickle to the top, kind of, they say like the cream rises to the top or whatever.
Yeah.
It's true. So yeah, that's kind of what happened. But it's very pop. It's very melodic.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there like anything else you can like give away already, with like any treats maybe for your?
I mean, nothing special. Like, you have to hear it, I think.
Right. Okay.
Honestly, I know that sounds like, again, like I'm just being coy, but I really think you just have to like hear the music. You know, it's any pre-explanation is like kind of like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But I will say that it's like, it's meant for escape. To be honest, it's meant. Like, my intention was literally like, I just want to help people escape. You know, I just want to help people tap into the unconscious a little bit, and just kind of float and just like go somewhere else, and just like have a visceral experience and be embodied by the music. So, so it has a lot of life energy, life force.
I feel like that's what we need right now. Like, to escape, you know?
And
like,
it's hard earned too. The songs are hard earned, because I went through a lot of struggle personally to get to the place where I could emote that much in the music. So there's a lot of emotion in the music. Yeah. It's really, definitely. It's initially born of heartbreak that blossomed into joy.
That's always a good thing, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like, we all can all relate probably. So yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking your time today with us.
Oh, thank you.
It was really, really lovely.
So good to talk to you.
Yeah, you too.
Oh my
thank
gosh.
You.
That's fun.
So I guess, yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.